You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 40 of Nice-ish.
Woohoo, new number.
I know, we're in a new number group. I can't believe we did it. I say it every time after each episode. I'm like, we did it. Even though, yeah, I know. Even though this week is a shortened episode, we still made it to 40, though.
Yes, we were both sick, me more than you.
Yeah.
And so we watched the other episodes, even took notes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the end of the week, I was out of it. So I'm like, I am not doing this. And you're like, okay. But we both agreed we wanted to cover Atlanta. And I'm really glad we are, because it was a great episode.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was a great premiere because I know Atlanta's been like hit or miss sometimes as of late. And this I thought was great.
So why don't we just jump right into it then?
Yep.
The episode opened with introducing the new women, which are Shamea, Angela, Britt, and Kelli. I was aware of Angela Oakley just because I'm aware of who Charles Oakley is. I was not, and Shamea, obviously.
Yeah.
But let me just say, right off the bat, there is a new queen for Atlanta. Shamea is it. This is Shamea's show.
I know. It really seemed like they kind of framed it that way, too.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe? Like, because based off of how she was talking, like, this is my friend group. Like, this is who we're...
And I'm the glue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting that they did it that way, which I am totally okay with because I thought she was so fun.
I'm like, why did this take so long to put her on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Full time. I had no idea. And I liked her before, but I had no idea she was this rich, this fun, this interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked that, and I think she was a friend before. She made it as far as friend of.
Yeah.
But she was fantastic, and everything's centered around her, and she's the nucleus, and I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
So they show a scene with Porsha starting off that she has filed for divorce after only 15 months of marriage to Simon.
Yeah.
Who was, they kind of did a little bit of a flashback. He was married to one of Porsha's friends. Porsha says no crossovers, no overlap. You know, she talked to both of them before she pursued anything. I don't know. Is it true? I really don't know.
Well, it's like, here's the thing, too, is that I know she says no overlap, which is obviously what the newbie Kelli is going to accuse her of. But I mean, it's not great either way, even if there was no overlap.
Yeah.
It's like there are how many men out there? And you
It
had
seems
to pick.
like two, Simon and Dennis. I mean,
Seems like two.
two men in Atlanta.
I know. Yeah. Right.
But we see Porsha go to her lawyer, who was also her lawyer when she divorced Cordell. And, you know, she just said he's not who he said he was, Simon, that he misrepresented who he was. She didn't know he had a legal green card. She did get a prenup this time.
Smart.
And interestingly, she said she owns 50% of the house.
Yeah, I know. That is interesting. I thought, okay, well, smart. Then at least, as bad of an idea as it was to marry this guy, at least there seemed to be some smart things she did on her part in case something happened like this. I don't think that she thought it would be this bad, though.
Because he did not want her to film in her own home.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, that's not going to happen. She owns 50% of it, so she's allowed to film in her own home. It sounds like he's just trying to be a pisser about it. You got to know somebody before you marry them.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Then we see Shamea's home, her $9 million home.
Yeah, holy shit.
It was a mansion.
I know. I don't know which one of the women said that on the invitation to her party that it didn't have an address.
Yeah.
It was just the name of
just Sterling House or something. Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Oh my God.
Again, I had no clue.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I don't know if that's maybe why she didn't want to be on right away, is if, you have a lot of money and it's like, I'll be a friend of, I don't have to show any of that. Because if she was a housewife, she has to,
Right. Well, why
move
not
around.
show it off? She says she's not into that, but
I don't know. It could have been also maybe because of her family and stuff. Like if she was having,
insecurity and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Well, her husband's name is Gerard, and he does HVAC installations. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. Do you know?
I should know. I think it's like, I'm going to try to bullshit my way through this here.
Or maybe we look it up.
I thought that's always an
But
option.
go ahead and bullshit while I look it up.
Okay. I believe it's like air conditioning and cooling and stuff like that. I think. I would assume that the AC part, it means air conditioning. Like heat, ventilation, and air conditioning.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see. HVAC is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning.
Let's go. I got all 4 letters.
Okay, so he was doing not just homes, but like, I think she mentioned airports.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you know how big an airport is. So, I mean, being able to install the ventilation system in an airport,
especially
kind of huge.
The Atlanta airport.
Yeah.
That's one of the main hubs of like, airports here in the U.S. So it's
and then
like
maintenance and, they could probably just live off the maintenance of that.
I know. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Once I heard that, I was like, now I see where all this money is going.
Yeah, good for her. And then she kind of told a story of how they met. This is where I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
Not many would share that you went to a party at his house, weren't quite feeling him at first. She's like, no, I don't want to go, whatever. Goes, ends up staying, but said she wasn't sure she wanted to stay in the same bed or anything. And then they're laying next to each other and her stomach starts kind of rumbling. And he's like, there's the bathroom. And she kind of insinuated she destroyed it.
Oh my God.
Which was, disgusting, yet hilarious. And she said he invited her on a date the next day. So she's like locking that down. He ladies.
I like her face when she said that, when she asked if he had kids, and that he didn't.
No, she's doing this weird thing with her lips in her mouth. Oh God, it was so funny. Yeah, I wasn't aware of this whole personality to her.
I know. And I think, it's because she was kind of hid as like the friend of role there. And I know that Portia's a big personality.
And she wasn't supposed to outshine Porsha.
Right. So.
Which she clearly did.
Yes.
And does. Mm-hmm. So then we move into Drew and Ralph's marriage. They are still going through a divorce. And Ralph currently, at the time of filming, lived in the basement.
I love that she had said the word basement, that he lives in the basement, because I turned to you immediately.
Yeah.
And I said to you, off to the basement you go. And I'm like, that's Atlanta too. Like we have really come full circle here.
And I stole that and I went and I tweeted it because I love that little clip. I have used it multiple times, but it was kind of perfect. And why I didn't think of it first, I don't know. Maybe you're just quicker than me. That's why. Would have came to me. Mm-hmm. So I am claiming it, but.
Do you think we'll see Tampa Ralph this season?
I don't think we will.
No.
I think it's hilarious that he's in the basement. I mean, who else? Was it Kim Zolciak and, like, wasn't she put in the basement? He had the bedroom and she had the basement?
Might have been. It was probably them.
Yeah. Because you have nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. So they're like, if you're going to split the home and your basement's finished, then someone's going to stay down there and someone's going to stay up. So it's hilarious to me that, they had to do that. But then it comes out that Drew is partnering up with Dennis, Portia's ex, to do music. Apparently he's a music producer.
I don't know. I didn't think that.
I thought he was a hot dog king.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't think that was in his, portfolio of jobs that he has. But apparently, music producer, it's his passion.
Well, she's telling this to Kenya. We do see Kenya a couple times on this episode.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
It's kind of bittersweet.
I know. I wasn't sure if we were gonna see her or not, or if they were gonna try to scrub her.
Yeah.
But
I'm a little disappointed. I've never been a huge Kenya fan, but I kind of found her necessary.
yeah, I mean, especially when some of these seasons were rough too.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't have her, I'm not sure what they would have done.
So seeing her was nice. I don't know how they're gonna work this. I don't know how soon they're going to have it happen where she's gone. So we'll have to see. But we didn't see Phaedra yet because she didn't film to the very end of the season. So
Yeah,
she wasn't in anything.
Because I thought that maybe they were going to lead in with that as the start of the episode and then go back to where we are right now.
Same.
But I don't know if they made no mention of it.
No,
So-
they didn't. Well, she asked Drew, what does Porsha think of you working with Dennis? And she's like, oh, it's all okay. She's good with it. We later find out that that is not the case.
Well, I think even Kenya was looking at her like, really? Like,
Yeah.
Are you sure that's okay?
You're like, okay. You say so. I'm going to find out, though.
Yeah, Dennis said it was okay. He said that he talked to her. Oh, he said he talked to
Right.
Porsha. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that conversation never happened.
Yes. Of all the things that never happened the most. Then we meet Kelli, who's new, and she has 4 girls, a 17-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a set of 8-year-old twins. She's thrown her a party. I got to say, I thought of you when she's like, my daughter's turning 17, and I got her 17 gifts. Because I thought, that's actually kind of a cool idea. I would not be buying you 17 bags like that. But I thought that would kind of be up your alley.
We can start implementing that. I mean, we're, you know.
You're a little bit too old for that now.
No. We're not too old for gifts. That I will accept a gift at any time.
We find out a little bit about Kelli. She also is going through a divorce, but she owns a restaurant called Nana's Chicken and Waffles. She has a cookbook. She seems pretty successful on her own.
Yeah.
And, I mean, definitely money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, seems like she, built the restaurant from the ground up type deal and, hard worker, that type of stuff. So.
I was a little disappointed to hear her mention that she felt unsafe in her marriage. She called it an unsafe environment. So I don't know what happened there. Clearly she was being careful, but 4 girls and going through that's not good. I'm glad she's not in that marriage anymore.
Agreed.
So then we have a scene with Shamea. She goes to dinner with Britt and Kelli. And Kelli actually kind of shocks both of them and comes out right away with talking about Porsha and Simon and says, why did she steal that girl's man?
Yeah.
And then we see pictures of Shamea. She's known Porsha since they were in high school.
Yeah, I know. Young.
Or maybe younger.
Even
maybe
young,
elementary school. It was a long time ago. And so Shamea's like, no, I'm friends with these women, but I will always have Porsha's back. So she's like, there was no crossover. That didn't happen. She talked to both of them. Neither seemed to believe Shamea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was a crossover. It would seem like, if anything, it was quick.
Yeah.
If we're not going to call it a crossover, fine. But it's a little weird. It's a little shady. And
Right. I mean, why did they get divorced? It was Fallon and Simon.
Yes.
Do we know if he cheated before Porsha?
I don't know. I remember her vaguely, and I remember being a little out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were married for a while, though. It was a couple of years, I thought. I
That
thought
I
at
don't-
least 5.
Oh, maybe it was then. Yeah.
We are so unprepared.
All that time and you didn't feel well and you couldn't look someone
I know. So Shamea brings up Drew and Dennis and said that she heard that they were seen out holding hands. When did this happen? Why was this never reported on social media? Because I know I never saw it.
No, and I think that would have been picked up quickly had that happened.
I think so. And if you saw that, would you not snap a photo?
Right, that's what I mean. So
you're not sure that's true?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. And if she was friends with Porsha too and would call her about stuff,
right?
I don't see her necessarily dating him. Now, it's not great that you're using him as a music producer or whatever, but
right. I mean, think about Ralph and think about Dennis, and it's a bit of a downgrade. Like, I know Ralph cheated left and right, but Dennis did too.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't really, but I don't know. The look on Drew's face at the very end of the episode was kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not.
Never.
Yeah. So, like, I don't want him touching me. I'll work with him, but I don't want him, Yeah, I don't want to date him.
I got that vibe too. So the bulk of the episode then kind of goes to Shamea's birthday party. She said she's never thrown a party in her home before. So that was interesting. Yeah, you're probably right that she didn't really want to show it off.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that that's what it is. If you've never had people really over to your house except like your family,
right?
It probably is a little bit of a security issue.
Could be. I would go that direction. She did have Cynthia on. We saw Cynthia a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing earth-shattering, but she was at the party.
Yep, that's all we'll share about Cynthia. She was there.
Cynthia was there.
Report. That's all we can report.
And Kenya was there.
Yeah.
She had a little bit of a weird exchange with Britt, asking about her wedding ring, thinking that she didn't have an engagement ring on. It was just one ring. And then kind of got into, is it your first husband, your second husband? I don't know. The whole thing seemed a little weird to me.
I thought it was odd, too, because at first, I think Kenya was asking her a question and Britt didn't like the way it either sounded or something. And she kind of like snapped at her a little bit.
Oh.
And then I think Kenya immediately got on the defense mode, like quick. And was then the shade just
started flowing.
That's how I thought it came all across, but I mean, maybe I always give these women the benefit of the doubt every time, and I am always I, like you, am always wrong. So
well, I saw her go over to her husband and just be like, had this weird exchange with Kenya, like she's going to talk about my ring when she doesn't have one. Mm-hmm. So she's the one who I think Kenya comes for.
Yeah.
Now we know where it started.
Mm-hmm. Literally this exchange right here.
And honestly, it could have been nothing. The ring didn't mean a thing.
Oh, I know. You had to slide that in there.
Call back. The horrible Kim Zolciak.
Oh, God, yeah.
So Porsha is like hours late. The party is well into it.
Yeah.
Then they get to the gift giving and they call Shamea out front. Everybody's outside, and clearly it's a car that's out there because it's covered. She's all excited. Her husband gifted her a $430,000 Rolls Royce.
That is insane. I mean, it was beautiful, but like, holy crap.
Right?
That's more than houses.
Yes.
That's more than, I mean, it's just like, wow. Talk about wealth.
Right? Unlike Slade, who gave Gretchen a Rolls Royce that he rented and then was going to have her pay the bill on.
She ended up taking that back, didn't she?
Yeah, she did, because she couldn't afford it.
Right. What are you doing? Yeah, that was funny, though.
Well, Porsha happened to show up at the exact moment that Shamea was getting in the car to kind of test drive it. And yeah, Shamea was a bit salty about it, which I can't say I blame her. She's like, normally I'm fine sharing a moment, but this was my moment, and no, bitch.
Yeah, I know. It's like, because you were hours late, too.
Yeah.
I don't like that on any show, any franchise, anything. Like, especially, Porsha, you're coming back now, too, and your first event that you're going to as a housewife, and you're going to show up
and the
hours
reason
late. Oh, yeah, traffic.
Traffic.
I can't stand that.
No,
reason.
100 guests managed to make it
Yes.
on time, but,
You
couldn't.
had traffic. Okay.
For your best friend
Uh-huh.
and her party.
Right. I hate that. Yeah. Everybody else managed to get here in time.
Yeah.
But you couldn't.
After that, the women all sit down together as finally a big, large group.
Mm-hmm.
And right off the bat, Kelli says to Porsha, because she knows that Porsha knows that she was talking shit.
Right.
So she says she just wants to kind of get the elephant out of the room and asks her about taking Fallon's man.
Like, oh my God, you got a lot of balls to come in and go right at that immediately,
Which is kind of what Porsha said.
Yeah. And to frame it in that narrative too, of that, why did you steal it? What's somebody going to say to that, though?
And do you really know?
Right.
Because like Shamea said, it's all rumor.
Right.
And she's telling you that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
She's her best friend. Like, you either, I don't know. It was a bit much to go right after her. And I can kind of see why Porsha was really a big advocate for Kenya staying, because I think she kind of lumps Kelli and Brittany together.
Oh, probably.
And so she's like, Kenya should have stayed. But it was a lot. Portia's like, I don't know you. I'm not talking to you. I have nothing to say to you. Who are you?
I know.
You're right, though. What else could she say?
Yeah, it's just like, it's such a loaded question. What is the answer that you're trying to get from her?
Right.
Is it to say yes? Like, and then what do you do when you get that answer? So it's just like, to show up with a preconceived notion about somebody on a show like this.
Right.
Not great.
Especially when they were kind of framing it around Portia's return.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Shamea looked like number one.
Yeah.
But as far as Bravo was concerned, this was going to be Portia's baby here.
Mm-hmm.
And so to come in right away and kind of, not even ask her about it in a kind of interesting way or a respectful way. Like, I know you're getting divorced, or, how's that going, or something.
Right.
Like, you right away went into she was cheating.
Mm-hmm. And the worst move you could make is not only saying that to Porsha, you said it to her best friend.
Yeah.
That's just even worse. Because then it's like, okay, well, as your best friend, not only am I going to share what you just said, I'm going to probably advocate for her and do more.
Right.
So, dumb.
And Portia's going to expect that.
Yes.
So Shamea kind of wants to change the subject, and the episode literally ends with her asking Drew, so are you dating Dennis?
Yep. Let's get this off Porsha.
Yeah.
And let's kick the ball over.
Still has to do with Porsha a little bit.
In a little bit, yeah.
But I agree with you. Seeing Drew's face, it was kind of like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
But she also could be acting. She's an actress. So who knows? She could be, oh, I'm horrified. How could you ask that? So I don't know.
I know. We won't know till we see it next week. But...
And that was in the sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
They start talking about it, and maybe we'll get somewhere with that. I don't know. I'll have to poke around on the internet, see if there's anything out there.
Yeah, I know, because I can't wait till Sunday to figure this out. Maybe there will be the sneak peek will be of this.
I hope so.
Pick up. Yeah.
Like a continuation?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hope so. I was very pleasantly surprised with tonight's episode.
I was too. I thought it was a great premiere. I think sometimes they can be iffy. Yeah. And you always want to start out the season strong, and I am interested.
Same. Yes, I would like to continue. Thanks for listening to episode 40 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, or Twitter at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening, and have a nice-ish day.